So it's almost Halloween, end of October, and it's spooky season, trick or treating as well. And I am going to be going to a Halloween party this weekend. I'm going to bring a dessert. So, what better to bring than my famous habanero chocolate cake? I use a box to make this recipe. It's not very difficult. I'm going to show you how to do it today so you can take it to one of your favorite Halloween parties or any party for that matter for a little bit of a spicy bite with some devil's food chocolate cake. Goes together really well. So let's make this cake. So I am using the box, and the only thing I am changing, actually two things that I am changing. The box calls for 1 cup of water, 3 large eggs, and half a cup of vegetable oil. Instead of water, I'm going to be using the 1 cup of milk. And then I'm going to take my habaneros. I'm going to cut them up here in just a moment. We're going to put them in the food processor with the milk. And then that's what we're going to use as our liquid in the box recipe. So let's go ahead and open this up here. We're going to take this out of the package and go ahead and get it in our bowl. Now, from this point on, I am actually going to put gloves on because I am dealing with habaneros and their seeds, and I have learned the lesson before with cooking with spicy foods. You don't want to accidentally rub your eye and get some of that in your eye. It can be very painful. So let's go ahead and we're going to cut off the stems. And then I'm going to toss this away. Now, I am going to put this in the food processor, but I'm just going to go ahead and help it out a little bit. Go ahead and cut them up a little bit smaller. Now, one thing about this cake is you cannot, well, you certainly could make it the day of your party, but if you do, it will not be spicy. You have to make this cake about 3 days in advance, and that allows the heat to come through the cake. So we're going to take our 1 cup of water and we're going to go ahead and pour that here in the food processor. And then I'm going to take the habaneros and put them in there as well. Seeds and all. I'm going to put the lid on. And then we're just going to pulse this. Whoa. Guess I didn't have the lid on quite tight enough there. So we're just going to keep on doing this until the habaneros in there get really, really chopped up and blended in very well with that milk. So now that we have our habaneros mixed in really well with our milk, we are ready to start mixing the cake. So first we are going to add our 3 eggs. Next, we are going to add our half a cup of vegetable oil. And then lastly, we're going to add our habanero and milk mixture. You can see all of those habaneros going in that cake. And then we're just going to mix this until it is mixed in well. And then we're going to be actually cooking this in a bundt cake, in a cast iron bundt cake. Now, one good point to add, this is not a bowl or a spoon that you want to lick after you're done pouring it into your cake. You'll be lit up. So it's hot right now, but when you bake it, It's not. It takes a couple of days for that hot, spicy flavor to come through, about 3 days. So today is Wednesday. I'm baking this cake today. It's going to be served on Saturday evening. So while I have been busy mixing the cake, my oven has been preheating according to the box instructions. A bundt cake is going to be at 350 degrees for about 35 minutes. So I have been preheating my oven to 350. While it's preheating, my bundt cake pan, which is a cast iron one made by Lodge Cast Iron in South Pittsburgh, Tennessee. It's been preheating as well, so it is nice and hot. I'm going to spray some oil in here, and then we're going to get this batter poured in here and get it in the oven and get it on its way cooking. You want to make sure your pan is sprayed really well so your cake does not stick to it. Just going to rotate it here, spray along all the sides. All right. Looks good to me. One extra spray just in case. Say a prayer, doesn't stick. And now we're going to get this batter poured into this pan. Just want to make sure you pour it in evenly. Make sure you scrape all that out of the bowl because you can't lick this bowl. If you do, you might regret it. You could certainly make this as a 2-layer cake. I just wanted to make it in cast iron, and so I wanted to do it in the bundt cake. Just going to even that out. Now, the beauty of cast iron is you can actually see here, because I preheated this pan, this cake has already started cooking, and that's exactly what you want with cast iron. That's why you preheat it. So let's get this in the oven. There we go. Now, we're going to set this timer for 30 minutes, and then we'll check it. We'll do the toothpick check, and if it's done, we're good to go. But if not, we'll let it cook for a few minutes longer. So it has been 30 minutes, and I just toothpick checked my bundt cake, and it is coming out clean. So we are going to pull it out of the oven and let it cool down. Check that out. Nice, looks great. Now, once this cake cools down, I'm going to put it on a cake plate and put it under cover for the next few days. That way, I don't want to ice it right now. We'll ice it Saturday right before the party. And just so people know, that way nobody takes a bite of a cake that could be spicy that they don't like, I put a couple of habaneros on top of the cake, which I'll show you that on Saturday when we go to serve it. Perfect. Wow, you can actually even see a little habanero seed right there. We're going to let this cool completely, get it under cover, and then we'll serve it on Saturday. There it is. You can be the first to try it and tell me how hot it is.
Are those roaches?
Oh yeah, they're fake roaches. It's not really roaches in the cake. It's like you're gonna get the chocolate first, and then the heat will come through.
Is it just the cake or is it the frosting?
Just the cake.
Okay.
Yep, just the cake.
Yeah, I can taste it. That's really good.